So, hello there everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing driving a Formula 1 car from LA to New York. Now first of all we've got to get to the start point, and that of course means this, in case you haven't noticed on screen now, is not a Formula 1 car, but with the Crew 2 you can just change like that from Formula 1 car to from a plane to a car. So there we are on the line map, just over the Brooklyn Bridge, I think. It's over that on the Manhattan Bridge. I always get those two mixed up. And we are going to be going all the way to LA. Now the idea is to get to, you've probably seen from the screenshots, to get to Hollywood, but we're just basically going to be going from there to anywhere in LA, and then I shall locate the Hollywood Hills and the Hollywood sign when we actually get down there, because well, I didn't look up beforehand because ultimately it's not an easy thing to park. Anyway, we're here in thing, and we're actually going the wrong way because of course in Britain we drive on the left, that coach is driving, and then in America drives on the wrong side of the road. But you can see here, well, here's our Red Bull F1 car. You can see here it's snowing. When I say snowing, it's actually sunny. It's actually, the weather's sunny, but there has been some snow on the ground. So ultimately we need the it's the Manhattan Bridge, I believe it is, because the Brooklyn Bridge has got the loop in it. I think. I'm sure there's somebody screaming at your monitors are saying, you've got the wrong bridge. Okay, correct me, please, in the comments below. But there you go. That is our start point. And the rules of this is we're not allowed to use a map. We have to try and use the road. So try and get out of town, then up here. Obviously the roads are covered in snow, so it's not easy, but you can see we've got these roads full of across this bridge, and then we'll go like up here, past here. You can see all my achievements already, and then up to this bit, and then past Detroit, Chicago, and sort of swiggle about. At some point though, when my cursor goes back, we've got to try and move on to from one road down here on the bottom to the other road, and then get to Salt Lake City. Once we get to Salt Lake City, we then go around the bottom of Great Salt Lake to Las Vegas, and then somehow wiggle our way down to Los Angeles. So that's the plan. There is the marker. Now, because the directions are so far away, ultimately the Crew 2 game doesn't have, they have not set up, they haven't set up anything with what's the word I was looking for? I haven't set up any routing. That was the word I was looking for. Routing for advanced routing. So ultimately, you can, short routing, yes, it will tell you where to go. But with out the way we've got. This being this far away isn't very good, and ultimately, the other thing is, if we somehow leave the road, we have to join the nearest road that is available, and not basically find our way back. So that rule does come into force, well, may come into force later on. It will probably actually come into force later on. But yes, it's snowing, it's fine. We should really be having snow tyres on, but clearly they don't have a license for that. They only have the license for Red Bull car, which is actually getting quite a lot of snow on, and we've reached the little bay river. It's Hudson River, isn't it? That goes through New York. Pretty sure it's Hudson River. Listen. Yes, I work with maps, and that's a reset. So we'll discount that one because I'm gonna count the resets. We'll discount that one because we're not in and out of the city yet, and also really I need to get my counter ready. So we'll discount that one. I'll say that was a unforced error. No, can't say that. Well, it's not my fault. There's solid obstacles. I mean, every game is. First, we need to avoid that. Here's the bridge. We need to get on. We need to go onto the slip road here, as we don't want to go north of New York. We want to go out to the west. I work with. Listen, I work. For those of you who don't know, I actually work with maps, so I should actually know where I'm going. Now, as usual, you will see breaks in the footage. And that's another reset. We'll discount that because that car shut me over. So that doesn't count. Okay. As we're going a little bit off road there, but we're on these 2-lane highways, which I don't really like. Mainly because well, in the snow it doesn't really matter, because we're still going 214 miles an hour. As there is, you can tell I've been here before by that ground speed, which I did. And yes, I mean we're gonna have to cause carnage. That's another reset. We'll count that one. Well, the counter is ready, and that is reset number 1. So obviously this counter on the left hand side of your screen, that will come up, and that will obviously change up every time. Every time I get a reset, you can see that's also reset number 2 there. So let me know if you tried this. Let me know how many resets you have, and also how long it is taking you. It took me about an hour ish in one attempt. So we'll have to wait and see if it's an hour again, because I got lost on my first attempt, and then I went away from the game for 5 minutes and disconnected me on another. So hopefully we can actually get there without getting lost. I know where I'm going roughly this time. That's Lewis Hamilton has just kept victory for the German Grand Prix. There'll be a video on the German Grand Prix tomorrow, but he has kept victory, which, to be honest, I'll just hope he doesn't get too far away, because otherwise he's just going to keep it here. So yes. Anyway, enough about that. That's another video. Also, apologies for the delay to this video. This was supposed to be scheduled yesterday, but yesterday I was out all morning, and I was like, oh no. You heard that rule I mentioned earlier about if I go off road, and if I go off road, I then have to rejoin the nearest road, which is this one. So we're going to be stuck with this country lane. I mean, there's going to be cars coming. Oh, we've just downed an electricity line, and that's good. Caused a power cut. Imagine being on the electricity company's customer service centre, which we all know in Britain, if you live in Britain, Britain does not do customer service well. Customer service does not work at all in Britain. We try our best, but in the end, the only country that actually does customer service well is the United States. And the fact of the matter is, they get in your face and they annoy you. If you want to see Britain's person's interpretation of how Americans do customer service, you should check out Jack Whitehall Live. I think that's the name of his show. He was at the Hammersmith Palladium. I've been to Hammersmith. Hammersmith is a great place. It's sort of West London, but it's not posh enough to be considered West London. That car almost got T-boned as well. So imagine if we got T-boned. How did you get that accident? How did you get that car? How did you get this injuries to your car? Well, it was a Formula 1 car. A Red Bull Formula 1 car. Well, actually turned out there was somebody on the road coming in the opposite direction. He was driving over 100 miles an hour. And he just hit into me. If you were an insurance firm, would you believe them? No. Definitely wouldn't believe them. Oh, there's somebody else's power lines. We regret to inform you that our power line and that's another reset. Great. We regret to inform you that power in your area may be intermittent at times as we go over this wooden bridge. Very American. We don't get wooden bridges in Britain. We regret to inform you that electricity lines in your area, and that's just a lorry. We regret to inform you that electricity lines in your area may experience intermittent patchy delays due to a Red Bull Formula 1 car driving about and taking out all of the power lines. See, we don't get sort of this style very often, and that's another car. Get out of the way. There's not really that much style there. We'll go this way, I think. At least it's not night time. Imagine just living in the quiet. Monroe. I'm not sure where Monroe is. My geography knowledge of the United States is very poor. I don't know a lot of things about the United States. Just because I work with maps doesn't mean I know where I'm going. Okay, so that's straight, and that should be mean that we can go back onto this highway, which is, I think, is 0. If I call them motorways in the video, there's a fox by the looks of it. If I call them motorways, it's because in Britain they're called motorways. They're highways in America, and I think they're... I believe him. No, we don't want to have another repeat going down there and having to go on another country road. Okay, over this bridge. I'm pretty sure that might have been the same bridge. I don't know. Anyway, we're back on the highway now, which is good. Some traffic needs to get out of the way. Oh yes, and you will also see throughout this race, throughout this journey, I go for these yellow things, which if you look up behind, when I look behind, there was a lock up there as I tried to do a drift. You'll see them. It's a bit like confetti, and they'll just well, I'll show you later on when I get a chance, but like just being on the right, I think that's Chicago actually on the right. Yeah, I've not been to Chicago. And I think that is the end of the snow. Yes, it is. So the snow has decided to disappear, but the amount of snow is still on our tyres. But that should disappear as we go thing, as we get drive on the thing. Well, that was close. Yeah, you see, it's just like, oh, that's a reset. And it's reset the car as well, that's fantastic. I think if eventually the snow would have disappeared from the car. Oh, that's a concrete wall. I mean, who has this? Why do you have that yellow stuff? We don't have this yellow stuff. We don't want to go on that road. We've gone up that embankment, I'd have to go on that road, but we got lucky. So yes, well, while we carry on with this video, I get to talk about some of the other stuff. I did mention earlier in the weekend, on Friday I think, that video about the stuff that we've learned, and that's going to hopefully come tomorrow on the channel. I did suggest it would come today, but I think it's going to have to come it's definitely going to have to come tomorrow now, because it's 10 to 7 already when I'm recording this as I speak. It'll probably be tomorrow. It'll be Monday by the time. So if it's a Monday, hello, happy Monday. Going back to school, right, whatever. Yes, that'll come to hopefully tomorrow, along with the Turn 2 podcast, which I always do in my car as just before going into work. So yes, so I shall endeavour to get my thoughts on the German Grand Prix. It won't be a short thing, but there's no scratch on the car. I'm amazed there's I don't think there's full damage on, because otherwise, well, that would be curtains. But yes, I've also been busy with Final Fantasy, and I've got 2 episodes to edit this week. I'm on recording wise. I'm on schedule for no, we've fallen down. There is actually no road, so we'll have to go up to the end. Okay, I was expecting like there to be a road, but that's a railway. We can't join a railway, because otherwise we'll end up like in Forza Horizon 3 when the train comes up. So we'll have to go up the road. There's somebody already down here anyway who's lost it on the bridge, and he's just said, oh, I can't make it up. But that means we are getting a lot of mud on this Red Bull. Christian Horner will not be happy about the muddiness of this Red Bull. This Red Bull was supposed to be showcasing itself around America, and it's getting a little bit muddy. Anyway, rejoining. I don't know why American roads don't really have. I mean, apart from the big intercity highways which have the barriers, these more outer town roads, they don't have an interior barrier. I mean, anything with a dual carriageway in Britain will have a barrier. I think it's only in Birmingham when there's a case where you can see the mud's wearing off now while I'm in the car, where there's actually a middle lane so it's 3 lanes on each side, and then a fourth, and then a middle lane, so there's actually 7 lanes rather than the barrier. But I think we're coming. I think we've got a little bit lost. Not a bit lost. It's just not taking the right turning. Because remember I mentioned we were going to have to turn right at some point. Well, it looks like that I missed that turning. I'm going to have to keep going on here to Salt Lake City. Hopefully this road goes to Salt Lake City. It looks a bit country file, and I mean, it looks a bit twisty. There's going to be oncoming traffic. It's a bit like, looks a bit like the A35. Nobody will get that reference because only that's a local joke for me and people who live on the south coast of Britain. And the New Forest will know that road. Fortunately, there's no old people or caravans or cyclists or ponies or donkeys or horses or deer or tourists, left-hand drive vehicles. Dutch people, they drive 3 miles an hour. No, literally, I come home on my way home from work, and there's occasionally, and there's a queue with either there's an old person doing about 5 miles an hour who need to carry on. Or do we need to go down this road? No, I don't. I'll make up my mind in a minute. But yes, as I was saying, there's usually something in the way. Tractor, they like it on. They like to bob along at 5 miles an hour, and I think, why do they bob along at 5 miles an hour? As an Italians were on the open as well, so it's all going on. Sport, but it's just a single carriageway, and we'll discount that one because that car was in the way, and that's also somebody who's have to dive out of the way, who probably would have been run over, but we are coming old tunnel. Nice effects. That's a coach. Probably full of tourists there. The other devil. If you ever get one of them, they're just a pain. Especially if they're foreigner coaches. I mean, you're okay on the motorway foreign coaches because I can overtake you. As soon as you get to single carriageway, no. So the only nationality I don't mind actually having on my road, on the single carriageway roads, on my way home through the New Forest, which 60 mile an hour limit. Not sure how much that is in kilometres an hour, but Britain it's miles per hour. That is a reset because that was my fault. But 60 mile per hour roads. Oh my goodness. With that could have been curtains. That's what happens if you hit the handbrake too hard. Salt Lake 8, that's where we need to go. So yes, there was the only nationality that I don't mind having the front is Italian in the Maserati once last week. Other than that, you're just slow. French, they're the worst. They're slow. Probably been at the wine, I don't know, because most of them are wine enthusiastic old people. The tourists that I overtake, there's no really young people. If you are my age, 24 or similar, and you're looking for a cheap holiday, the Lake District I recommend in autumn as well, because in summer it's just a car park. But autumn is very nice, and you'll see more of why I say that when we get to Forza Horizon 4, which is hopefully coming soon. I've got a bit planned for that because they're currently doing some blogs and releasing some streaming. So what I've decided to do with that is to just, rather than do one of it in time, is to just, instead of that, is to just ultimately let's reverse here. Because I missed the. This is the stuff we have in the central reservation. Oh no, it's popped out. That's nice. Just hit it a little bit and it just magically disappeared. The crew too. Yes. Oh, have we got another tunnel? Okay. Oh, another reset. Lovely in the tunnel. So yes, I think it's enough for the tunnel. Really, after a while, it gets a bit boring, and I think we're coming under some mountains, coming up to Salt Lake City. So we'll carry on. Salt Lake is 3. Red Rock? No idea. I think that's the road we should have been on ahead of us, but as the graphics kindly draws itself in, just so you can see, and this is on Xbox as well, not on PC. Yes, Final Fantasies look going well. I've already started a little bit of work on an F1 2019 mod as well. So that's coming up when eventually after the game has died down, because ultimately the first day of the game, it's going to be the same as, it's going to be different this year than last year. If you don't already know my plans, basically the plan of action is to have an episode where we have a look at the game, get familiar with the menu as we're coming into Salt Lake City now. Okay, we've got speed, we've got a speed thing here, faster, dodge the traffic. Coming up to this thing, let's see what our speed trap is, and 209 miles an hour, and that's a nice and neatly parked. We might as well go and get ourselves thing. Yeah, let's go away. So yes, what else have I been working on? A bit of Forza Horizon 3 Blizzard Mountain stuff, just to like get an expression of winter, because really, as that's some more traffic here. This is Lake Salt, great bit of off-roading there. Traffic's disappeared now. Somebody's got a lodge there, but I mean, why would you have a highway going round a nice scenic panoramic measures? That car had, I'm sure there's some G-force explanation scientists will be able to. So we're up to 19 miles away now, that's nice. It's the radars going off again, just really, don't really need that when you're doing something like this. And that's a reset. Okay, coming around this corner now. And what we're going to happen, just making Nice knots of thing, and then of course there's a steel concrete thing. Just look at the mess. I mean, that car's just had to be stopped. So how did your car get in this state then? Well, there was an F1 car who was throwing water barrels all in the air at 200 miles an hour as we're coming up to Las Vegas. Now, we don't actually go into Vegas like the thing. There's the graphics nicely shocking in that fake space needle. So we need to go all the way to the other side of the city, and that was another reset, so that car just couldn't get out of the way. I think this game has a rush hour as it goes through the day. So I'm obviously 14 miles away, but is that going to do? There's more stuff there. I'm just going to really accelerate right now. We need to make sure we take the right exit there. I think this is the right exit. The one should swoop round to the left. We got a little bit of a spaghetti junction going on here. Not as fantastic as the one in Birmingham, but nevertheless, I'm pretty sure if we had done that in Monaco, scraping the tyres away as Las Vegas on the left hand side, we would have ended up with a puncture of some sort, as that's traffic in the other side of the road, and that is a reset. So and there's another reset. Great. Not having really good enough time in rush hour. We're up to 12 resets already. That car's being knocked around sideways. I mean, surely the police would be after me by now if I was actually to ride like this. But then of course they wouldn't actually have any chance of catching up until reset number 13 happens, after we hit some other people who are trying to get home. Imagine people trying to call their other halves. I'm sorry. I'm afraid you'll have to cook dinner tonight. Yeah, I'm afraid there's an F1 car. If anybody actually has a girlfriend or a boyfriend, whatever, as we go airwards, wow, okay, we would definitely not survive that if that happened in F1. We got to get a replay of this. This game can do rewinds, I think. It's loading now with its. There we go. Okay, moving the camera about. There we go. There's the rewrite. Okay, can we slow this down? Just look at that air. I mean, people and their coaches think, what on earth is that person doing? Well, I'll tell you what happened. It's what happens when you drive at you take off at 300 miles an hour. Bush. It was a bush, yeah. It was a bush that lifted me up in the air. I'm surely there was some stones in it. There you go. I mean, imagine just sitting through that and ending up. Well, there wouldn't be enough one car left, but there is no damage on this game. So there we go. That's the underfloor of the car. I haven't really modelled that very well because there's more to it on the underfloor of the car than on an F1 car than there is definitely on that car. As we materialise now, 11 miles away. And there we go. Oh, there's a lorry. What they're braking for. Oh, it's a roundabout. That's what they're breaking for. We're gonna go and do something. That we should have done. There's more airtime there, and we're gonna go and actually take the roundabout in a Formula One car. I know there's not very many roundabouts in America because most of it is just straight line and squares. So here's a roundabout. Indicator left. There's a horse in the middle of the roundabout. Should have run it over, to be honest. And there we go. Okay, after Las Vegas now. Next stop, Los Angeles. Hopefully, we need to try and get there in 9. We're at less than 10 miles away, and we need to slow down to try and think. I'm not sure of the route between now and Los Angeles, because here between Las Vegas and Los Angeles, I don't think there's very many. There's not one direct road. So I think most people say, it's too long, let's just get the plane. We are getting close, 8.6, but then of course it's going off to the right. Giant thermometer is in 2 miles time. It'd be nice to go and see the giant thermometer. I don't know, I mean, who wouldn't want to have a giant thermometer? There's none of those barrels about now, so train. No, come on. Oh, now it says we're going the wrong way. Okay, it bends round. We need to go right at some point. There's no roads actually to the right. Mojave Desert. I remember that. That's towards the south, isn't it? There's the giant thermometer in all its glory. Okay, I think we definitely need to turn right at some point, but there's no roads because we've got this mountain range on our right hand side, so it's on our right. Okay, there's a road to our right now. But we're not actually going to take that. Because I don't think it's going winding back on itself, but we'll see. See if we can go right at another fork later on, and hopefully that will bring us down. Might mean we have to go to San Diego though, which I've not been to. It's just got the giant thermometer in the way now. Okay, this road's bending round to the right now. It's interesting. Mojave is sort of the way we want to go. Okay, let's go right here. This looks like a good route. No dirt tracks as well is one of the rules. So there's more airtime there as we try to take a Lewis Hamilton style shortcut. There's a dirt ride. There's a dirt ride. Yeah, we're gonna have to reverse back down that road and try and get the mud off these tyres. Well, we're going this way now, simply because I'm lost. There's no doubt about it. I'm lost. I think we're heading back to Las Vegas. Hopefully there's a road that goes right, but you can see the wind farm is 8, and that's something new that wasn't there before. Hopefully there's a turn off to the left, an actual road, not a dirt track, because if it was a dirt track then no way we're going to go. There's a road here going off to the left, going to the wind farm. We're going to take that road, and I think this is where we should have been to begin with. You can see it's starting to wind up through the mountains now, and see what else next time I'll try and slow down for a sign to see where ultimately this road ends up. I think I saw on that sign Palm Springs. Now I know roughly where Palm Springs are because Top Gear escaped there from Los Angeles once after joining a storm after messing about with the storm drain. So yes, Palm Springs, I definitely saw that there on the sign. So we can get from Palm Springs to Los Angeles, and that would be great. But hopefully there is a road that Top Gear took. From Palm Springs to Los Angeles, and hopefully we don't get lost again. Out the way. I'm not usually this bad at driving, but usually I can use a map, because clearly my sense of direction isn't very good. I work with maps. My natural sense of direction isn't very good. Oh dear, people with vertigo wouldn't like this. They just wouldn't like driving along there. Imagine being in a lorry and then having vertigo over that thing. Oh my goodness grief, that's a bit. And we've gone. We're gonna have to go around there. And once again, the tyres are gonna get muddy. Christian Horner is waiting in Hollywood. He's not really. Somebody's waiting at Hollywood to receive this car. Somebody's got to clean the mud and the snow off it. And also get rid of all the dents and all the accidents and the resets we've had. Palm Spring. What an idiot sign. Who puts a sign that is halfway through a tree? Did you see that sign back there? If you're not, go and rewind and have a look. Palm Springs is for the San Bernardino Mountains. I think you can see the sea there. So actually, I think that's the Pacific Ocean there on the right hand side where the mountains go. So we're good, but we need to get into Palm Springs and then start going north again. To see what is in Palm Springs. But we're coming down into Palm Springs now on the Valley Road. I didn't realise it was going to be trying to be. This is actually quite nice scenery. So this road's going to bend round. We don't want to go that way. I think we should go carry on. Okay. This is Palm Springs. Okay, so wait, hang on. I'm not sure where we need to go here. The giant thermometer, for goodness sake. That giant thermometer, while we were going past, just threw us off so much. Anyway, we've got to see where this road takes us. I think we need to be over that river. But I think we need a road with a junction. otherwise we're going to get thrown off. If we calculate this right, so we're going over the river now. This is the river we need to be. I don't know what river it is, but it's going to wind around the river, and then we need to try and find a road that takes us from, as that's another reset, as a yellow car can have to get in the way. This road's going to wind down. We need to be on the other side, I think. Let's see if we, and then we'll need to find a road that goes right again, I think. My light is starting to fade. As we hit that slight concrete, and this car does not have any lights on it, so we need to go off to the right somewhere. Hopefully there is a turning coming up, otherwise we're going to end up back at the giant thermometer, and this is going to be entire wait of time. I'll have to wait and see if we can. Oh no, there is a junction coming up there, up ahead. Now it doesn't look like it's actually going off to the lefts. But we're going to go left anyway, we have no choice. It's the one that's right, it's either left or right. Right would be wrong. Left is coming, and we've got this complex of, we're going into some town. I have no idea what this town is. Oh look, the rights are going to red and somebody's with that car. Just imagine, we're just going across, coming back from a night out, just casually crossing the road, and then that one car being there, waiting for you to go by. Okay, it's a very nice bridge there. Fresno, I'm pretty sure I've heard of that. Isn't that in Nevada? Okay, there's a junction here on the left. We're going to take it. Central Valley. Let's go. Okay, back onto the highway now. Wine country, okay. Wouldn't be nice enough, actually. Should we go straight on? Big Sur. I think we should have a little rethink about this. Carry on. See what this road's like. We can always change our mind again and go back on the highway. Central Valley's 2. Okay, it's winding off to the right. It's winding off to the right. It's going completely right. That's too far north. We don't want to be that far north. Let's go on the highway and see if we can find somewhere that isn't. Oh look, they've not understood the red thing on the back of the car. They've put that as they think that's the brake. It's not a brake light. It's the when the energy store isn't working correctly, as there's a oncoming car. We need to avoid the cement. This is the central reservation. Okay, this looks like a major road. This looks like the road we should have been on from the very beginning. It's got 2 roads. It's got a central reservation in the form of a forest, or sort of some bushes, which we're using currently at the moment. As we're coming up to Gorma, can't see the name tag on my previous game. I think it's Gorma Games YouTuber. Don't know who you are. If you're watching, get in touch. If you got the Crew 2 on Xbox, want to have a little race, or Forza 7 or anything on Xbox, want to have a race with, let me know. Get in contact. You can get in contact on various forms all that's in the description below. So, as I think we're here in Los Angeles, we have somehow made it to Los Angeles. Here is Los Angeles. Welcome, guys. Just got to get to the Hollywood Hills. I went there once a long time ago. It's actually a bit for cold. It was summer. It wasn't summer, but it was springtime. But it was one of those it was an evening tour, and it was one of those evenings when it was cold, but yet it had the warmth of a summer's day, if you know what I mean. A long time ago, it was over 10 years ago now. We really are going the wrong way, so we need to find an exit really from this thing, and then come back to where we are. Oh my goodness, we're getting a wheelie there. I think we missed an exit there. Missed another exit there. Okay, well, let's see where we can go. Let's see where this takes us if it goes wrong. Let's go down here. See where this takes us. Let's go. Right, okay. I don't know if we're going to go on to Hollywood Boulevard. Let's go to the one next to the sea. Why not? We've come a little bit away, but here is Los Angeles. There's the sea. I think this is one of the beaches. It might be Venice Beach. I don't know. I'm not sure. I've not been to Los Angeles that often recently, so I don't know myself. But if that is Venice Beach, you can get in touch in the comments below. I'm sure there'll be people from America who know these places. They're watching this stream and saying, what do you think you were doing driving that way? No, it should have been that way all the time. Well, for somebody, I can read a map, and we should have gone that way. As we just scattered somebody. Oh my goodness, he was crossing the road. Shouldn't be crossing the road, mate. Should be at the traffic lights. They weren't on red, mate. Okay, we're getting closer to the Hollywood Hills, and that's a school bus. What would a school bus be doing at this time of the night? I mean, we don't have a timer, but it's dark, so I presume it's after hours. Over these. I'm sorry if you just imagine it being like 1 AM in the morning and just hear the cluttering of an F1 car rolling through the streets. I mean, yes, you've got all these quiet Priuses on a one-way system by the looks of it. There's the bus depot with all the school buses. This looks like the right way. We need to go right. Follow around. Avoid the car. That's good. We need to turn right. Again. Out the way, Chelsea tractors. Thank you. Okay, we're going straight on this road. Carry on till we get there. Oh dear. We try to avoid a car and end up in the back of a Wayne Rooney. That is not good. Out of the way. Cars. We need to go underneath here. At the end of the road, turn left. We will get there eventually. I promise you that. I mean, the video, you can see by the fact the video ends. So, we will get to the end point. We will get to Hollywood as well, but I'm not entirely sure at this moment in time where Hollywood is on this map. I know it's in the hills where the Hollywood sign is, but I believe that is actually where our waypoint is. Obviously I placed the waypoint in the middle of the building, so it'll probably be impossible to get up there, so that's pretty much as close as I can get. So there we go. I'm not sure where we've been. That's only logged. Oh my god, we just went the big convoluted way. We were down here, and I mean we didn't need to be. That well, anyway, I'm not sure if I don't think we went down here to Big Land, but still, from Las Vegas to Los Angeles is tough. I don't know, I might do another one of these, maybe go to Seattle to Miami or something like that. Yes, now it is all about trying to find the Hollywood Hills, and here they are and all their glory. It took a little bit of time. I had to actually Google where the sign was, and then it took me about another 10 minutes to actually find the damn thing on thing, and somebody needs to watch out. But anyway, here we are. It's mid-morning again. It's the following day. I mean, obviously, I did this at the hotel in Los Angeles. I'm sure somebody can recommend some hotels. Now, to get to the Hollywood sign, obviously, I have to go off-road. The radar's going off again. Actual fact, does it actually say to go off-road? It does. Okay, no, that's a rock. We can't go over rocks. Fortunately, because of the torque in this F1 car, I can actually get up hills. Maybe we need off-road F1 race. Okay, let's see if we can get up to this campsite of some sort. It looks like a vessel of some sort. And there we are. That is the Hollywood sign from the Manhattan Bridge. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, see more the Crew 2 episodes. Obviously the live stream series will continue, unnarrated as usual. But until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, evening, probably be tomorrow, it probably be Monday as I said, by the time you get to finish this, but watching this. But and let me know what you enjoyed out of this as well, and what you want to see from, what else do you want to see from the Crew 2. Yes, hopefully you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Take care, and goodbye.